my channel. Thank you guys for the support that you have given me on my last few videos, particularly when it comes to underwriting. That seems to be something that people are interested about, and I can see why, because there aren't a lot of videos on YouTube about people who are actually like day in the life of an underwriter. You have videos that kind of explain underwriting, but not many that do like vlog style or answer questions or things of that nature. So I hope that I can be that source for you. So today I'm just taking you through my day in the life. If you're not updated, go and look at some of my other videos. I have recently started a new underwriting job, and let me tell you, it has been a little bit challenging just from the aspect of working from home and trying to learn new systems and learn the way that this company does business. I am still so excited to start on this new journey with this new company, doing something that I literally have been striving towards since I knew that I wanted to get into underwriting. I have been getting a lot of questions about my journey as far as career path. How did I start in underwriting? What were some of my previous jobs, things of that nature, questions about how to get into the industry, a lot of different questions that I think what I'm going to do is each video that I do, day in the life, I'm just going to touch on a few topics before I get into my day. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. So today's video, or today's topics before I get into my day, will be my personal career path to underwriting. When did I know I wanted to be an underwriter? Did I start immediately in underwriting? I will answer all those questions for you. Right now in my current role, I am a commercial underwriter, and the lines of business that I do business owner policies, general liability policies, umbrella policies, and workers' comp. So my plate is a little bit full. I did workers' comp about, I would say maybe 2.5, 3 years ago when I was working with Allstate. So I'm trying to get freshened up on some of the rules and state guidelines and things of that nature. So my plate is pretty full. So today is going to be a jam-packed day. So I'm going to hurry up and try and get my explanation of my career path out the way, and then we're going to get to work. As you guys can see, I have Google Earth back here. I need to measure some distances from buildings to the coast, okay, to see if we can offer coverage or not. So let's get right into it. Okay, so how did I get into underwriting? Let me tell you guys, I went to college and I graduated in 2012 with a bachelor's in business administration. The concentration was in marketing. I wanted to be an entertainment manager somewhere in the entertainment field. I had previous internships with TV networks. I had interviews with TV networks, things of that nature, and I thought that I wanted to be somewhere in that field. Well, when I graduated from college, I ended up going back to my hometown, which is a little town in Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, about 2 hours from Chicago. And there is not really a lot of opportunity there. So when I graduated and went back home, I had to quickly find a job because I didn't want to just graduate, have this degree, and just, not use it, or just be sitting in the house and doing mediocre things. So I started applying for jobs, trying to find corporate jobs. Now, if you're not aware of Peoria, Illinois, it is the headquarters of Caterpillar. And so I was trying to get into Caterpillar for the longest in their corporate office, something in like business development or marketing, but I just wasn't getting any callbacks. So I saw an ad for, job posting on LinkedIn for Liberty Mutual. Now, at that time, I had never heard of Liberty Mutual Insurance. I mean, I'm just freshly graduating college. I don't know anything about insurance companies, things of that nature. I was just looking for a job. And one of the good perks about Liberty Mutual is that on all of their job postings, they will tell you the salary range for that position. So I knew I was looking for a certain salary range. Again, mind you, I was in a smaller town, so the cost of living there was really cheap. So salaries weren't really big, unless you were like really in corporate executive positions. So I saw a ad for customer service position. I think at the time they were paying anywhere between 36 and 38,000 is which is what they posted on their ad. And so I was like, okay, let me apply for this. For this position, you did have to have a bachelor's degree. So I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe it's not just your regular customer service, answer the phone, can I pay my bill type of job, because I did not want to do that. So long story short, I got into Liberty Mutual as a customer service rep. I started my insurance career in personal lines insurance. And so I was doing customer service for your personal home, personal auto, personal seasonal rental properties, things of that nature, personal umbrellas. And so I was in a local office with some sales agents, and we basically helped service their book of business. Now, I wasn't just like your typical customer service rep in an insurance company. With Liberty Mutual, you had to be licensed. So they paid for our PNC license. They flew us out to Florida, I believe, for 2 weeks, and we got the same training that the salespeople got. And so, in a sense, we were pretty much salespeople, but not really, because we didn't have a production goal or anything like that. We just we serviced, and then we were able to quote as well. So if someone called and needed to add a vehicle or add a son or daughter or spin off a policy or add a home, they were buying a new home, and we would quote that, we would add it, we would even do new quotes at times. So we had to be licensed, and that was my foot in the door to insurance. I was with Liberty Mutual for about 4.5 years. The first 3 years I was doing customer service, and then Liberty Mutual, they decided to do a company change where they wanted to centralize their customer service into 6 different cities, and so they paid for me to relocate, and I decided I wanted to relocate to Arizona. So that's how I ended up in Phoenix, Arizona, and I got promoted with that move to a rewrite specialist. So with a rewrite specialist, I concentrated on policy spinoffs. So if you had a son or a daughter who is now of age, they're 18, and now they want insurance on their own, their vehicles registered in their own name, you would call. I would be the person that will write that policy for them. Homes, like if you need a new home, or if you purchased a new home and you needed a new policy or needed to add a home, I would do those types of policy rewriting. If a customer called in and we couldn't, at that point they were ready to walk away or cancel, I would be the one to rewrite their policy to see if we can get them a better rate. So that's what I was doing. I was rewriting policies, which gave me a really good background at quoting, at frontline underwriting, and things of that nature. So I got my first introduction with underwriting, or what an underwriter was, in this rewrite position. Of course, there are certain levels of authority that you have when you're quoting, but when something goes outside of your authority, usually within insurance companies, you have to take it up the ranks. And so one day I was quoting, I believe it was a home, someone purchased a second property, which was like a seasonal property, their vacation home. And I believe that this property was something, I don't really know what was wrong with the property. I don't know if it was the protection class. I don't remember if it was the coast. It was close to the coast. I really don't remember. But what I do remember is that I went to my supervisor and said, hey, what do we do with this? And this was above her authority. And she said, we need to send it to the underwriter and get their approval. And I'm like, okay, how do I do that? And who is that? What is an underwriter? And she just said, oh, just here's the email, send it up to them, tell them what's going on, and see if we can offer coverage. So I did that, and it took a day or two, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 days for me to get a response. And the response I received was, I reviewed this and I've decided not to offer coverage to this risk. Now, Liberty Mutual is a pretty big company, and at this time I was in literally a call center, which I absolutely hated. When I moved to Arizona, I was in a call center coming from a local office. And so, we had all these people writing policies, and I'm like, who is this mysterious person? Who is this mysterious person that just told me to decline? Like, what type of authority do they have that they can just look and see, whether or not they want to offer coverage for this big company? Like, who is this mystery person? And from that, my interest was sparked. I started researching, like, what is underwriting? Who is underwriting? Trying to find videos on what underwriting is. How much do they make? This, that, and the third. And like I said, with Liberty Mutual, all their job postings have salaries listed. And so I just went on the website and looked up underwriting positions that were open to get the description of what they do. And then I saw the salary and I was like, I need to be an underwriter. Because if you don't know, an underwriter, especially an experienced or professional, or I guess you can say senior role underwriter, you can make up to 6 figures. And that's just base salary. On top of that, you get bonuses. So I'm not there yet, but I'm close. I'm getting there. That's my goal within the next maybe 5 years, is to be making 6 figures in underwriting. I'm getting there. I'm close. I'm getting there. Yeah, so that's what sparked my interest, and I started looking and researching what underwriting was, what they do, things of that nature. And I said, okay, if I'm going to stay in insurance, this is what I'm going to pursue. So everybody was sick of this type of abuse from customers. So people were leaving left and right. And I had a coworker that left and went to another company where she started underwriting flood insurance. Now, I had some flood experience with Liberty Mutual, not a lot. I mean, I probably quoted about maybe 5 to 10 policies a year. I did some in the local office, and then when I moved and did rewriting, I dabbled a little bit. But that gave me a foot into the door at Assurant. Now, Assurant is a write your own company. It's the second largest write your own company for flood insurance through FEMA. So a coworker of mine, she left, she went there. She said, hey, yeah, they're hiring a lot. You really want to play up your experience on flood insurance and quoting flood insurance. Now, like I mentioned, I had experience in quoting, but not a lot. However, I did play up those aspects. I went back into my notes and my training and looked at some of the training on that so that I kind of knew what I was talking about. That's one recommendation that I give you. A lot of people ask me, well, how do I get in to underwriting from like the current customer service position that I'm at, or the account management position that I'm at? Play up those things for that certain role that you're trying to get, that you have a little experience in already, and know what you're talking about. I mean, in these interviews, you have to know what you're talking about. It has to make sense. You have to know the lingo. And so we'll get to that. So I applied with Assurant, and I got the job with Assurant. I played up my flood insurance background. And of course, when you get in the company, they will train you on what and how to do things. So if you can get in, great. So I got in. I only took like a $2,000 salary increase when I left Liberty. I wanted to make more, but at the time I was just so ready to leave. So ready to leave, just because I did not like the job. Liberty Mutual itself is a great company. If you can get in doing something other than customer service, get in, because it's a great company, great benefits, great pay. One of the more higher paying insurance companies, I would say. And you would know what range you're making before you would even apply, because it tells you on the job posting. Anyway, I got into Assurant, and Assurant is where I got my start in underwriting. So technically I've been in insurance for 9 years, but in underwriting, I've been in underwriting for 5. And Assurant is where I got my foundation as far as the process of underwriting, the reviewing the applications, the knowing how to follow guidelines, the sticking to the guidelines. And we know with FEMA, if you're in insurance, FEMA is administered through the government, so there are guidelines you have to follow. I mean, it's very seldom where there's gray area allowed, and so this gave me a good experience. I mean, there were also quality checks that we had to do with each application. I was passing quality. I mean, it was just a really good foundation, a really good job. I liked it, but I knew that it would take me a while to advance with that company. Um, there was a handful amount of underwriters, and for whatever reason, the senior underwriters, there were only a couple, and I knew they were going to be there for years. And I even asked, what does it look like as far as development? And they really didn't have a plan or a plan. They basically were like, just to be honest, we don't need another level underwriter for this amount of time. And it was just like, no, I'm the type of person, I have to keep going, I have to keep reaching. So I had my first daughter in 2018. I started with the Assurant in 2016. I had my daughter in 2018. So at that time, I was like, okay, I need to either be closer to home because the commute was an hour, or I need to be somewhere where I'm making more money because now I have a child. And I started looking around. I was going to stay if they allowed me to work from home, but they didn't. So I started looking for another job. And this is where I came in at Allstate. Now, from working with Assurant, and I already had done personal lines. With Assurant, I was underwriting both non-residential and residential buildings, so commercial and then your residential buildings. And all this time I'm doing my research, always trying to make my next move, researching companies I would want to work for, things of that nature. And I knew that I wanted to be in commercial underwriting. I wanted to move from personal lines to commercial lines because you can make more money with commercial insurance. So I saw a job posting for Allstate, and I just applied. I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. My journey and career path, I can't give credit to anyone but God. Literally. Okay? Because yes, I'm smart. Yes, I know that if I get into a company that I can excel, and I do excel. But we know with these interviews, these people want experience. They want all types of experience, years of experience. And really, from job to job I've had, technically on paper, I did not have the years of experience that I should have to get these positions. And so, one, I had to just stop and acknowledge God for that because, I mean, literally, He's giving me the desires of my heart. And I stay prayerful about it. But anyway, back to what I was stating. I applied for a commercial underwriting position with Allstate. And the job description kind of explained what I was currently doing, underwriting new business, but it would be for all types of lines of business, which I had no experience in, guys. None. I was just underwriting flood insurance. But in the interview, I played up what I did do. I played up, I was getting good quality scores. Time management was really good. I had a workflow for myself that worked. I was able to help train other underwriters that came in, things of that nature. And long story short, they first tried to offer me what would be considered, I guess you can say, an underwriter assistant or account managing position. And I would have been making what I was making now at Assurant. And I was just like, no. I was so puzzled because I was like, the interview went so well. Like, I don't understand why they offered me a lower position. So I declined it, but I just could not let it go. And so I went back to HR and I was just like, hey, I'll have to decline, but could you give me feedback on why, they came to the decision of giving me this lower position because I thought the interview went so well. Well, she went back to the hiring manager and came back and said, oh, no, they really like you, so they want to offer you the position. I think that HR just kind of messed up in offering the wrong person the position. So I got in it at Allstate. I enjoyed my time at Allstate. And if I did not have to move from Arizona, I would have probably still been with Allstate. If they allowed me to work from home at the time, which we moved right before the pandemic, and if we moved after, I'm sure I would have been working from home. I loved working for Allstate. This is where I got my experience with different lines of business, different carriers. If you guys want in-depth video, because I don't want this to be that long, I can go into in-depth because basically, just to put it in a nutshell, because this is getting kind of long, I worked for Allstate. Allstate had their own in-house brokerage called iVantage. And I worked for the in-house brokerage. So if the Allstate agent could not place commercial business with Allstate business insurance, Allstate had a brokerage in home in the company that they could go to and still profit off of things of that nature. So that's what I worked for. I worked for the in-house brokerage. So I was working small business. I was doing BOPs, which is a business owner policies, general liability, umbrella, workers' comp, and I was doing commercial auto. Going from not doing any of that to now doing that, oh my goodness, that was such a blessing. We had such good trainers. I got so much knowledge in this job. And so when we couldn't place with ABI, they would come to us and we would place with some of our partners. So I literally had writing authority and was quoting with the Hartford. I was quoting with Travelers. I was quoting with Liberty Mutual again, Main Street America, various other carriers that I literally would go into the carrier site and I would quote these for these different carriers. Not only was it giving me experience, with underwriting, but it was giving me experience with different carriers and different carrier platforms so that if I wanted to move or if I wanted to apply for other positions, I had a heads up because I knew their system already. And so I loved that job. But then my husband, we wanted to follow his dream and his career. And so we decided to move to Atlanta. If you guys want an in-depth video about anything that I'm mentioning, let me know. I'm just trying to not make it super long. That's why I said every day in the life video now, I'll take some time and talk a little bit about my experience and answer any questions. So moving on, we moved to Atlanta. I had to hurry up and find a job. I still wanted to stay in commercial, and so I got a job with Burns and Wilcox, which is an excess and surplus company. It's an MGA. It's a brokerage. Still, not a carrier. Okay. So at this time, I was doing renewals. Still the same lines of business, except I was not doing commercial auto or workers' comp anymore. I literally was doing renewals, making sure they were 60 days out, underwriting, looking at audits, things of that nature. I had my second daughter July of 2020, right? No, 2021, sorry, last year. July of 2021, she's 5 months now. And during that downtime, because I was off for 3 months, I said, okay, we're in a new city. It's been a year and a half. We settled in now. Now I can look for something that's going to continue to push me towards my career path. So I was applying. Like I mentioned in a few videos before, I interviewed with the Hartford, interviewed with Travelers, went through very intensive 3-4 interviews, went really well, but they just wanted more experience. I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? These big underwriting jobs, they want the experience. And so if you can get your foot in anywhere, just work your way up. And that's why I said, literally, there's a divine hand in my career path, and that is God. Because, y'all, the position I have now, I should have like at least 10, 15 years experience. I only got 5, guys, 5. God is good, but I work hard as well. And I know what I'm talking about. And so hopefully I can help you guys who are in careers. I mean, y'all, I have all the ins and outs about how to ace these interviews, where to get information from, because it's hard to get information out here, okay? Especially when you're interviewing. Y'all, glassdoor.com will get you together. I mean, salaries, interview question. I'm going to get y'all together. Okay, so I was with Burns and Wilcox, decided, okay, now I have this downtime while I'm on maternity leave. Let me look for something where it could continue to push me towards my goal. And one of my first goals was to work for a carrier. I wanted to be a carrier underwriter, okay? I wanted to work for the carrier. I didn't want to continue to work for a brokerage or be the kind of the middle person. Yes, it gave me experience with working with several companies to be able to know their underwriting guidelines and systems, but I wanted to be the carrier underwriter. I wanted to focus on one company's underwriting guidelines and literally have that authority. You know what I mean? So I got this position with the current company that I'm with now. And I know I've been name dropping, but I'm not going to name drop this company just because it's my current company and, privacy reasons, this, that, and the third. And currently I am underwriting, like I mentioned before, BOPs, general liability, umbrella, and workers' comp. And one thing I like about this company is that they have a niche, and that is the healthcare industry. I am not doing healthcare insurance. They only provide coverage to healthcare professionals. So doctors, surgeons, medical offices, hospitals, urgent cares, ambulatory services, things of that nature. So I literally only have to know guidelines for a certain niche, which I love. Now I don't have to know this company's guidelines and this company's guidelines and this company's rates and try to figure it out. I can really hone in and really use my underwriting skills and get good at it. And so it has been a challenge because, like I said, I am training from home. Knowing this company's guidelines, it's a lot of work, and they have a really, really old system. They're using a 1996 point system for quoting. And so it's a lot of unnecessary work, but this year they're supposed to be going to a web-based platform, which I'm so excited about. And so right now I'm just trying to stick it out. So that is my career path. I graduated from 2012. It is now 2022. And within that time frame, I have had 5 jobs. And each job has been a boost to the next level. So that is my little spiel for this video. So y'all, let's get to work because I don't know how much time I wouldn't say it's wasted, because if you're getting the information, you're getting the information. So let's get to work.
Hey, Goldie.
Good morning, kiddos.
Good morning.
Good morning, pal pal. Good morning. Are you guys ready to eat breakfast?
Yeah.
Are you playing with your little friend?
I'm playing with Shanti.
Shanti? Okay. Good morning, pal pal. Oh, good morning. Are you doing? Oh, okay. Are you doing good? Okay. All right, let me get you guys some breakfast. Yeah. I mean, it's going pretty good. I'm getting the swing of things, and of course, the things that I need assistance with, I reach out to you. I have a few buying requests I have to do this morning, and then I saw Andrea sent through a few tasks. I have maybe 2 or 3 quotes to do. While I have you on the phone though, I did that workers' comp one that you were saying is probably no use in even looking at it. That California one.
Yeah, I'm going to discuss that one with Chad.
Okay.
Meeting, and the same thing with that one for
Paige. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up to Chad. I said that we're not going to try to discount that one. They've got a $36,000.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that brings me to another question just for future reference. Can you explain to me a little bit about, I saw in the original email you sent to, is that, we have to remember that for Georgia, is there like a limit to the credit that we can give with workers' comp?
Basically, we don't give any credit or debit in Georgia.
Okay.
The way the state's set up, you can't deviate more than plus or minus 5% for your annual rates in the state.
Mm-hmm.
So Ruth, we do have a few policies that we applied credits on or debits on.
Right.
Ruth tries to monitor that to make sure we stay within that plus or minus 5%.
Got it.
So for the most part, everything that we quote or write doesn't have any kind of schedule rating on it.
Okay. That makes sense.
So, if I was going to try to go to bat for Paige on this one to give credits.
Right, you would have to have clean loss, right? I know, I saw that. I was like, 36,000. and you still asking to get it down to $9,500 premium.
Had I known they had a loss, because just looking at the experience mod, they had a good credit.
Yeah.
I figure they probably didn't have any losses, or if they did, it would have been very minimal. But this one, I guess, just recently happened. Had we known that,
right,
we'd have to probably have referred that to Root for approval. We've already quoted it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to discount it.
Right.
I'm sure Chad would understand.
Yeah. Hey guys, so I'm going to end the vlog here. It got kind of lengthy, but I hope I gave you some good information earlier just about my career path and kind of the journey that I took to get where I'm at right now. I really like my current job. Just once I get the training and the kinks out the way, I feel like I can see myself being here long term. It's a great company. I like that it's just me and another underwriter now, and they're gonna hire a temporary underwriter just because one underwriter's last day is on this Friday. He does what does he do? I think he does cyber and he does professional liability. So they're gonna get a temporary or hire a temporary underwriter ASAP just so that we aren't swamped. And then if we get into this new web-based system, they won't need to hire any more underwriters because we'll be able to filter out certain things. So I'm really excited. I'm glad you guys are willing to take this journey with me. I'm so excited that you guys are interested in underwriting because I was too, and it was really hard for me to find information out there about underwriters. So hopefully, like I said before in the beginning of this video, I can be a good source for you. So if you enjoyed this video, please help me out by liking this video and subscribing, and I will be back with more day in the lives and just my life in general as a wife and a mother of 2 kids, as well as being a career woman. All right, see you guys in another video.